If you've ever watched the anime Fate/Stay Night, you've likely wondered about the origins and histories of the servants summoned in the 4th and 5th Holy Grail Wars. In this article, we'll delve into those questions and focus specifically on the servants featured in Fate/Zero, Fate/Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works, Fate/Stay Night, Heaven's Feel, and Fate/Hollow Ataraxia. So, let's get started. Saber, Artoria Pendragon. First, let's talk about Artoria Pendragon, commonly known as King Arthur. In the Fate universe, Artoria is portrayed as a female version of the legendary King Arthur, although there is also a male version named Arthur Pendragon in Fate/Prototype. Artoria is summoned as the Saber-class servant in both the 4th and 5th Holy Grail Wars, initially by Emiya Kiritsugu and later by Emiya Shiro. Artoria was born during the chaotic period following the collapse of the Roman Empire. The empire, once thought to be invincible, fell to barbarian invasions, leading to the fragmentation of Britannia into smaller kingdoms and a prolonged era of warfare known as the Dark Ages. Artoria, daughter of King Uther Pendragon and his wife Igraine, was born under the prophecy of Merlin. To protect her from danger, Merlin secretly raised and trained Artoria to become a future king. When Artoria came of age, she pulled the legendary sword Excalibur from the stone, proving herself as the rightful heir to the throne. With Merlin's support, she became the King of Britannia, leading the Knights of the Round Table and defending the land from various threats. Despite her inability to age due to Excalibur, Artoria faced numerous challenges. She concealed her gender from everyone except Merlin and a select few. The revelation of the affair between Lancelot and Guinevere, Artoria's wife, caused great turmoil. Lancelot fled, and the kingdom suffered from invasions and betrayals. Ultimately, Artoria was betrayed and mortally wounded by Mordred, her son with Morgan Le Fay. Excalibur was returned, and Artoria took her last breath at the age of 35. In return, she became a servant, seeking the Holy Grail to save her kingdom. Artoria also possesses a formidable array of noble phantasms, Excalibur, the iconic holy sword symbolizing her ideal. It is a divine construct forged from the inner sea of the planet, embodying the wishes of humanity. Avalon, the sheath of Excalibur, capable of healing any wound but with certain limitations. It was stolen from King Arthur shortly before the Battle of Camlan. Rhongomyniad, a divine construct spear given to Artoria to defeat Vortigern. Its true form is a pillar of light stabilizing the planet's layers, ensuring the world's stability. Its immense power rivals Excalibur and is sealed by the Round Table's restraints. Clarent, a sword representing the radiance and royal authority of a king, hidden deep within Camelot's treasury and later stolen by Mordred. Its elegant form was tainted by its new owner's hatred. Marmiotos, a great sword forged by the god of fire and bestowed upon a great hero. Its power surpasses Excalibur, prompting Artoria to lend Excalibur to Gawain at times and wield Marmiotos herself. Artoria Pendragon is one of the most beloved servants in the Fate series, with a deep and compelling storyline that embodies the spirit of chivalry and sacrifice. In various anime adaptations, she is portrayed not only as a powerful warrior but also as a symbol of leadership and loyalty. Berserker, Lancelot. Continuing our exploration of the servants in Fate/Stay Night and Fate/Zero, let's delve into the stories of Lancelot and Hercules, key figures with significant and tragic roles. Lancelot, another Knight of the Round Table, is summoned by Matu in the 4th Holy Grail War. As a berserker, Lancelot is a fierce warrior, but his tragic story revolves around his forbidden love for Guinevere, King Arthur's wife, leading to betrayal and internal strife. In the midst of a fierce battle, Lancelot witnessed a brave young man wielding a sword, defeating invaders and proving him wrong for doubting the young king's abilities. Lancelot then fought alongside the king, becoming one of the most loyal knights of the Round Table. His bravery and loyalty earned him the honor of conversing with King Arthur as a friend. Lancelot soon joined the Knights of the Round Table and sought a seat at the table. However, he fell in love with Arthur's wife, Guinevere, and wished to elope with her. Despite his love, he remained loyal to the king and did not act on his feelings. The affair was later discovered by Arthur's son, Mordred, leading to public scandal and civil war within the kingdom. Lancelot's betrayal and forbidden romance with Guinevere ignited the downfall of Camelot. During the final battle at Camlan, Lancelot refused to participate, leaving King Arthur to face his death alone. Hearing of Arthur's death, Lancelot fell into despair and madness, ultimately becoming the Berserker in the 4th Holy Grail War. Hercules, summoned in the 5th Holy Grail War under the Berserker class by Iliasfil von Einsburn, is a great hero in Greek mythology. The son of Zeus and Alcmene, Hercules is renowned for his extraordinary strength and his 12 labors. Tormented by Hera, Zeus's wife, he endured severe trials but always triumphed. Hercules is known for his feats such as slaying the Hydra, capturing Cerberus, and obtaining the golden apples of the Hesperides. These achievements not only earned him freedom but also secured his place as an immortal deity. Hercules embodies perseverance and unparalleled strength, and even when tormented by Hera, he rose and fought until his last breath. In Fate/Stay Night, Hercules, as Berserker, exhibits devastating and unstoppable power, making him one of the strongest servants. However, his madness strips away his cognition and intellect, turning him into a relentless fighting machine, obeying only his master's orders. Archer, Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh, an Archer-class servant, is summoned in the Fourth Holy Grail War by Tosaka Tokiomi and later forms a contract with Kodomine Kyriai, extending his existence to the Fifth Holy Grail War. As the first king of humanity and the king of heroes, Gilgamesh is half human, half divine, and the hero of Mesopotamia. He is the son of the goddess Ninsun and King Lugalbanda of Uruk, the ancient Sumerian city where the first human civilization flourished. Gilgamesh possesses a vast treasury of noble phantasms, including the world's first weapons and treasures, with the most notable being the sword Ea. This sword, incapable of being replicated, is stored within the Gate of Babylon. In ancient epics, Gilgamesh is depicted as a wise but arrogant and tyrannical king who refuses to submit to the gods. The god Anu created Enkidu, a wild man, to punish Gilgamesh. After their initial battle, the two became inseparable friends, beginning a story of eternal friendship. Together, they defeated numerous beasts and made Uruk prosper. However, the goddess Ishtar, spurned by Gilgamesh, sent Gugalana, the mightiest beast of Mesopotamia, to punish him. Gilgamesh and Enkidu fought and killed Gugalana, resulting in Enkidu's death as punishment from the gods. After Enkidu's death, Gilgamesh became despondent, realizing that Enkidu was his only true friend. He journeyed to the underworld of Utnapishtim in search of immortality but failed. Ultimately, he accepted death and left his throne to his son, Lancer, Siu Chulainn. Siu Chulainn, a Lancer-class servant, is a hero in Irish mythology. Originally named Setanta, he is the son of the god Lough and Deichton. From a young age, he displayed exceptional talent, and after accidentally killing the watchdog of the blacksmith Ciúlin, he vowed to protect Ciúlin's property and was named Siu Chulainn, Hound of Ciúlin. As an adult, Siu Chulainn traveled to Scotland to train in martial arts and magic under the warrior woman Scathach. He overcame many challenges and learned to wield the cursed spear Gibalg. During this time, he fell in love with Emer, daughter of King Fergal Monarch. To prove his worthiness, Siu Chulainn had to overcome numerous trials and fight many foes. Siu Chulainn participated in many major battles, including defending Ulster from the Connaught army led by Queen Medb. Eventually, in a battle, he was mortally wounded and died standing, bound to a pillar facing his enemies as prophesied. Siu Chulainn's sacrifice became legendary, and his fame spread far and wide. Indramainu. Indramainu, also known as Avenger, is one of the weakest servants to appear in the Fate series. Initially, he possesses no significant power and is not a true servant. However, Indramainu becomes a symbol of evil and suffering, leaving a notable impression in the series. In Persian mythology, Indramainu is the evil god opposing Ahura Mazda, the god of light and goodness. However, in the Fate series, Indramainu starts as an ordinary human in a village. He was randomly chosen as a sacrificial lamb for a ritual. The villagers believed that by placing all their sins and misfortunes on one person, they could cleanse themselves of their sins. They captured Indramainu, tortured, cursed him, and held him responsible for all the world's sins. Tortured and driven to madness, Indramainu was not allowed to die until he could no longer endure old age. Ultimately, the extreme suffering of an ordinary person, without any special talent, turned him into a symbol of evil in the Fate world. Though not as powerful as other servants, the title Avenger made Indramainu a fearsome figure summoned in the Holy Grail War. Indramainu was killed in every war and trapped in the Holy Grail. The Grail absorbed him and became tainted, transforming into a vessel containing not only heroic servants but also anti-heroes. This enabled the Grail to summon evil servants in subsequent Holy Grail Wars. In the Third Holy Grail War, Indramainu was summoned as the first Avenger to replace Berserker. However, due to a flaw in the summoning system, he was killed and trapped in the Grail. His existence contaminated the Grail, making it a vessel filled with sin and suffering, ready to summon anti-heroes in future wars. Indramainu harbors resentment and hatred towards the world, having been turned into a scapegoat and bearing the sins of humanity. Although initially an ordinary person, his suffering and despair turned him into a symbol of evil. he lacks the extraordinary talents of other servants, but his existence is a testament to human cruelty and the potential to transform an ordinary person into the embodiment of evil. Invermania represents the darkest and most evil aspects of humanity but also serves as a reminder of the consequences of uncontrolled resentment and hatred. This concludes part 1 of our journey through the most beloved servants in the Fate series. Stay tuned for part 2, where we will explore more fascinating characters and their stories. In part 2, we will continue to delve into the mystical stories and vibrant personalities of the Fate world. From intense magical battles to complex relationships between servants and masters, part 2 will take us on new, thrilling, and surprising adventures. Stay tuned and make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to not miss the latest updates on the Fate series.